Anyway, TikTok, we are back. Hey, America! It is a wet my whistle wind. Here in the mid-sack, actually the lower sack, the mid, whatever sack it is. It was a good day today, though. Weather-wise, pretty good spring day. Not
got a little chilly at night,
but at the end, but not too bad. Sunny, clear skies, not bad. Low 60s.
That was beautiful.
Not too bad. The redoubtable one, Law Dog, back from a parade again. The pimps and whores. Listen, the questionable one. We are here, boys and girls. It is our NBA playoff preview. Yeah, and I know what you're thinking, America, but aren't you? 1 and 8 aren't set yet. Nobody gives a fuck about 1 and 8 because 1 and 8 are both. One's going to win. Okay. Let me know when the 8 seed pops in. It's going to beat the 1. Okay. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Okay. It ain't going to happen this year. I can tell you that.
Only in hockey.
Knicks were the last ones to do it.
Only in hockey, and in spite of it, you and I will be doing an NHL preview. Even though the Bruins are not in it. But we will do it. So
neither are the Red Wings. It's all good.
The Red Wings. Yes, that's right. But anyway, as you can see behind us, we have an alley of greatness. As you can see, the Magic Man, Rip Hamilton,
yes, sir.
Larry Legend, Russell, and what is that? What the fuck is that? That is a Jalen Brunson. That is a Jalen Brunson. Okay, Jalen, small in stature but big in body. Brunson.
Apparently, not the best player in that playoff series, according to a bunch of idiots on.
Well, it's
NBA
funny you mention that because we are going to get to that. We're going to break down all the series that are set, which is all but 2. And as we're speaking, talk about a load of garbage right now. I mean, he was questioning Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan won back-to-back national titles, and he's usually in the playoffs, and he does it with minimal talent.
I didn't question Billy Donovan. I said he's the master of fringe playoff teams.
He's the master. Yeah, he is. Because these guys, how these guys win 39 games, they suck. I mean, from a talent perspective, the GM for Chicago needs to, if he wasn't fired yesterday, he should be fired already. Because this team
they
won.
Don't suck. They had Zach LaVine. They traded him. Colby White is good.
How great is Zach LaVine?
They got a bunch of role players. You're right. He is a good coach.
He is a good coach. They don't have a lot. Yeah. They don't got a home run hitter.
But they don't. I'm in one of those moods right now where all I can see is negative. So I see Billy Donovan with a shit roster, and I go, look at this fucking guy. Every year he's a fucking player. Instead of seeing the good he did.
Yeah, look at Tyler Hero right there.
Instead of seeing the good he did to get him.
With a minimal roster.
Right. I'm seeing that. Yeah, so please excuse me. But that's how it's going to be tonight.
That's all right. Well, he's angry, and he has a right to be angry because I heard what he heard today, and we're going to get into that. I'm going to break down.
No, I've been hearing that all week.
Well, I heard it today for
the Mets lost the second game in a row, which annoyed me.
Well, that didn't help.
The fucking shitbag Twins.
The playoffs are all but set. There's obviously Friday night will be the deciding factor, but somebody's going home in this game. It's looking more and more like the Bulls as we sit here because they can't stop the Miami Heat, who are not a great offensive basketball team. They're not. They're making Tyler Hero look like Klay Thompson, and that's just not who he is. Okay, I'm talking Splash Brothers Klay, not washed up Klay. Splash Brothers Klay. So the thing is this: they're down. Chicago's down 17. They're getting some boos from their fans. I mean. I thought Chicago knew basketball. If you look at that roster, how can you boo them? That team, you got 39 wins out of that team. That's a miracle.
Yeah.
It's a fucking miracle. I'll tell you what, leave that team the way it is, add a stud, like a stud, and tell me what happens.
Like Kevin Durant.
Like a Kevin Durant.
Oh, God.
Somebody like that, to that group. They need a guy who can, in the fourth quarter, close. They don't got a closer.
Yeah.
It's that simple. They don't got a closer. And that's why they're in this mess. Okay? Miami hasn't had their closer in a year and a half because Jimmy Buckets, who, by the way, dropped 37 last night, 38. By the way, I'm convinced, since he's kept his streak alive, you probably heard it in the back feed. You're lucky you're across the table. The thing is, I'm convinced that there is a God, there is a such thing as reincarnation, and you come back as a chair. Now, here's what I have a hard time deciding. I'm not sure which one of these two chairs is Hitler. It's either that one or it's this one, okay? I'm not sure which one is Hitler, but one of them's got to be Hitler because...
In that case, I'm going to shit my pants.
Well, you already have.
No, I haven't. That's the beauty of it.
I think he has.
You think I'd stay here with shit in my pants?
Yes, if you were stoned, I think you would, and drunk. It's just a little squirt, not too bad.
Be all right. Give me a little baby wipe, I'll be fine.
No, if I shat myself, it'd be a full-on shower.
Yeah, you'd have to go home. We'd welcome you back, though.
For the record, he's come very close.
No, I'm a professional.
He's like, I'm a professional.
I'm an absolute professional. I know how to pass gas without shitting myself.
Thundercrack is real.
Was he in Living Color Flatulence?
Remember
that skit where it was like, it farted like, that smells wonderful.
It does, yes. Well, those are
I take flatulence.
Those are wonderfully evil. And if that is, whichever one of these is Adolf, okay, maybe the other one is Rasputin. I don't know, but these two, they deserve it. They deserve it. I'm just telling you right
Bulls
now.
have to cut it to 12 by the end of the third.
Yeah, but we have a second game coming up. Now, Sacramento is interesting because those fans actually are pretty cool. They love basketball out there. I am curious to see what's left of that roster.
That
They somehow
decimated.
I mean, they are decimated. They are.
By
By
trades,
they are.
they still have Malik Monk and they still have Sabonis.
Sabonis is good. Yeah. DeRozan, they've got DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, I forgot
They've
about
got
that.
him. So the cupboard's not bare, but they're not a team that needs a closer. Needs a guy like a Durant or like
You got a DeMar DeRozan. He should be able to close it.
He's not. He's not on the level of Jimmy Buckets and Kevin Durant and guys like
right,
Jason
well.
Tatum. He's not those guys. He's not those guys.
lot
He's
of
not a
teams-
Rip.
a lot of
He's
teams
not.
don't have the top
He's
four
he's
players
not a
in the
Rip
league.
Hamilton.
DeMar, I say
He's not a
DeMar, I like
Magic.
it.
He's not a Larry. He's not a Bill. Jalen's a closer.
Those guys aren't growing on trees in this league.
No, but those guys are they're there. That's it. Okay, so minus Brunson, who if he gets a ring will be rightfully. I still think Patrick Ewing should be up there, but that's neither here nor there. Willis Reed.
No, the only reason Ewing's not up there is because I had a Patrick Ewing jersey for about 25 years. It was the same jersey, and I wore it for that long, and it just fell apart. Never bought a new one.
I think you should honor the man.
But you could.
The man should be on this set.
He's fine.
The man should be on this set.
He's doing fine.
No, he belongs on this set. Him and Larry are friends too. Him and the Harry Larry connection.
What the hell is that?
Who's what?
It was a Caleb Williams they were showing.
So where do you guys want to?
That's who that was.
Oh, is that what it was? Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
Oh.
Caleb Williams at the game.
What's
Wow.
your favorite QB?
Who should we? I called that one. I did call that.
It's 1 year.
Well, all we have to go on is 1 year.
I know, but you said he's going to be an absolute bust.
He is.
But well,
He is.
You called it. It hasn't completely played out yet.
No, but it's really heading that way rapidly.
Could be.
Okay. They did get the offensive guy from Detroit who could save him if he can listen to him. This is the thing. Can he get to him?
Ben Big
Yeah,
Johnson.
yeah.
Can he get in his head?
Are you talking about Ben Big
Ben.
Johnson?
Big Ben Johnson?
Big Ben Johnson.
No, Ben Big Johnson.
Ben Big.
Ben Big Johnson.
It's Ben Big, not Big Ben.
Well, yeah, because remember the old Big Johnson shirts?
Yeah,
yeah.
I used to have him in high school.
Yes,
Dude,
yes.
that's great. That's a great. That's a
Yes.
co-ed, like the
Big
co-ed
Johnson.
naked and the Big Johnson.
The golfers, the Big Johnson.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, my older brother had like a slew of those things.
I never had any.
Neither
I was
did
too
I.
little.
But anyway, the point is, we are here for the
We're
NBA
old.
playoff shoot. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start?
Want to start in the East? Eastern Conference?
We can start in the East.
Well, yeah. Is there another conference?
I think so.
So, can we start in the least?
I would say, well, before you say that, because this is the other thing. They're bashing the East like it's not going to. Listen, I know everybody wants to see Boston and Cleveland, and it's like, can we just get to this already? But that's not fair to teams like the Knicks. It's not fair to teams like the Pacers. And it's certainly not fair, okay, to a team like, I don't know, the Milwaukee Bucks, who has a guy named Giannis on it, who is an all-time great player, and he is a home run hitter. What if he went to Chicago with all that young talent around him?
yeah.
Yeah, what if we drop Giannis in the middle of that lineup?
Well, they'd have to bring his brother. Can't go alone.
Hey, you talking about Thanasis?
Thanasis?
I think Chicago would accommodate to get Giannis.
Without a
I think they would. I think
You know, the Lakers used to
Billy-
have the two younger brothers on the squad
really?
for a while. Yeah.
Well, I can't remember who it was on a podcast. It might have been Teague. Have you heard?
Yeah, Jeff Teague's stuff is pretty good. I don't see it as much as some of the other guys.
He was
but-
talking about when he was on that team, and he was like, dude, that having Thanasis is real.
Yeah.
He was like, Giannis would be like, where is he? Like,
He needs
if
him.
he didn't know where he was, like he couldn't focus. kind of.
Wow. So that's cool.
But he
That's
also
cool.
said the dude was like big for energy for the whole team,
Yeah, he's probably a good locker room
Yeah.
guy, good bench guy. Yeah.
which is interesting,
Yeah,
Sometimes nepotism works well.
It does.
it does.
It does.
Sometimes.
So we can start in the East if you like. I mean, if you want to start with Milwaukee and Indiana, I can certainly do that. This
The faux five?
They have developed a pretty serious hatred of one another.
Yes.
Indiana and Milwaukee.
Well, no,
they've got a bit of a
that's
hatred.
Everybody hates Indiana.
No, but Milwaukee and them have met the last 3 years in a row. They've got a bit of a rivalry going here.
Yeah.
And Indy's taken 2 out of 3. Not for nothing.
Well, they haven't seen him healthy yet.
And they're not going to because Damon Lillard's not going to play. So I can't blame Indy for that.
No, I know, but Indy always beats people that are injured.
So do the Celtics.
Well, that's true.
So-
Well, you guys took out the Mavs in full strength.
That was the first team that was full strength, and that was the perfect matchup for Boston. It was the perfect matchup. So, and if Porzingis had been healthy, it would have been a sweep. It would have been a sweep.
It should have been a sweep without
it.
It
should
had
have
nothing
been.
to do with Porzingis.
No, because Tatum and Brown
They took the plane back in Game 4.
They did. They were on the plane before the tip-off of Game 4.
They said, "Hey,
yeah, we're just going to win this one.
Coach, we're going to see you. We're going to see you in Mass."
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
So, and that's what they did. But the point is, getting there, they didn't face anybody that was 100%. And by the way, guess how they're going to start the playoffs? Well, we'll get back to that. But anyway, Miami and Indiana. Now look at
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee and Indiana.
Yep.
Now look at a lot of people are saying that without Damian Lillard, it doesn't look like he's going to play at all. I don't see how Milwaukee beats them 4 times. 2, maybe 3, but 4 without him, I don't know if Giannis, as good as he is, can do that by himself. Because at the end of the day, how do you defend them?
Yeah, Indiana's an interesting team. I feel like every time that I've watched them play, they could be out of the game, but they can shoot their way back in, even if
they're never out of it.
They're never really out of it. And it's kind of like they haven't played good at all this game. How in the hell are they only 2 points down? Yeah. I feel like that's every time I watch. And they, obviously they're well coached. They are. They are. I don't think he gets enough credit because I don't think, from a talent perspective, they have a lot of talent. No,
they've got good role players. Obviously, the kid from who's the guy who came from Pascal Siakam, who came from
Pascal
Toronto.
Siakam, yeah.
And they've
he's talented.
He's talented.
Yeah.
They've got 2 guys that are all stars. Those 2 are all stars. They got 2
Turner
all-stars.
at the center is good.
Yep.
How good is he?
He's good.
Is he good?
I mean, because he's big, he can shoot the 3.
He can stretch the floor. Yeah. He's gonna pull Giannis out. Yep.
And then they have is it Naismith?
Yes, he came from the Celtics.
He's actually pretty talented.
He was behind Tatum and Brown and never got a minute.
Not always consistent, but he can. And then Nemhard, their point guard, he's annoying as shit.
And who's the guy who came from New York? The leaper.
Obi Toppin.
I
mean, they have
some talent.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
just annoying as shit.
They're annoying.
But yeah, I don't see Milwaukee. Even if Lillard was healthy, I would still pick.
Well, they still can't stop him.
Yeah,
but they could match him with him, maybe basket for basket, because they have enough firepower. That's the thing. I don't think Milwaukee can guard him if Lillard is either. But at least if he's there, they could match him.
Kuzma's going to have to step the fuck up, and I don't. What kind of playoff experience does he have?
Well, he did with the Lakers, right?
No, because he was on those Laker teams that were pretty bad toward the end of Kobe's career, and then he got traded
to the Wizards.
Wizards, yeah.
Awful.
Siberia.
And yeah, he played great there, but I mean, Jordan Poole's played great there too. You know what I mean? It's like not hard to play to be the guy there.
So did Bradley Beal.
And Bradley Beal played great there too. That's a great point.
If they kept that group together, they might have had something.
Yeah.
They got the talent
that's gone through there.
Yeah.
Now they got
Ben Wallace back in the day when he was
I mean, it's not like they haven't had any talent. They just can't get
Remember when they had Weber and Juwan?
Yeah, that was when they were the Bullets.
They were actually good then.
The Bullets were
remember
They were good,
yeah.
The
they
Bullets.
Scott Skiles at the point.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, the Bullets have a world championship.
Spartan Dog. Scott Skiles.
I remember when they had Kevin Duckworth for a while.
The Duck.
Oh, yeah.
From Portland, the Duck.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
He died young, man.
He did. He was a big man.
Yeah, he was a big dude. Yeah.
He was very big. He was no duck, trust me. So I agree that Indy has too much firepower without Lillard.
Yeah.
And I didn't,
And I mean, look at the real question is, who does Milwaukee have? That roster is pretty thin.
Beyond Giannis and a old Brook Lopez, who was never great.
But at least when he was young, he was. I mean, he could do some shit.
He was solid. He was. He started shooting threes, and that probably extended his career, but it kind of hurt his game because he was better in the block. I thought he was more of a threat in the block. Let's look at that way.
Roster.
You got Kuzma,
but I mean, but how far?
Connaughton.
He's from Massachusetts.
But he can shoot though.
He's a tough player.
He's a tough player.
I used to coach in Arlington. He's from Arlington.
Torian Prince. I forgot about that. That's good. Gary Trent's been good for them. The rest is.
But I mean, come on.
Barbecue chicken.
Kevin
Porter Jr. Maybe.
The cupboard's a little bare over there.
It is. I mean, this is probably
in northern Wisconsin.
This is probably the toughest.
There might be some salt for the roads, but I don't know about
the toughest matchup that I had on my list. Like, it's kind of funny he started with it.
Toughest matchup?
You think so?
To me, I think toughest matchup to make a prediction on. To me,
really?
I think Milwaukee's not good.
Well, hold on a minute. To your point,
maybe I'm underestimating.
Hold on. Here's the problem. Counting Lillard, they had 1, 2, 3.
I think they're kind of even.
4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8 guys averaging double figures. Now Lillard is out, and he was averaging 25.
Right, and Lillard.
That's a huge loss.
The game I saw when I was.
Bobby Portis.
Yep.
He can still. He's
when I was in Madison Square Garden, and I watched that game with the Bucks.
Playing.
Damian Lillard had like 25 points, and it was like I was like, when did he score that? Like he just was getting it. Giddey.
Middleton's gone.
You know
I'm
what
sorry. They have 7.
Yeah,
Middleton's gone. He's been traded.
Yeah,
Middleton's gone. They have, who's the kid? Tayshaun Prince? No,
Torian Prince. Torian Prince used to play
Not
for the
that
Lakers.
Tayshaun. Not that Tayshaun, yeah. So there's 7 guys that average double figures. That's good.
Yeah.
But who sticks out there as a defensive anything?
Well, I don't know him.
Besides Giannis, I don't know.
Besides Giannis, nobody really plays defense. Bobby Portis is too old. He was a pretty good defender back in the day. Middleton's gone, but he hasn't been good in 3 years anyway. Does Kuzma play D?
Nah, I wouldn't say he's a two-way player at all. No. You know what I mean? So
all right. So I think we're all leaning towards Indiana here. I will give Milwaukee 2 because I think Giannis can get him 2. He's that good. But I think Indy beats him in 6.
Well,
I'm going to give Giannis.
I think it's also.
It might be generous.
Halliburton disappears at least 2 games a series.
This is also true.
And so I'm glad you brought that up.
Zero burger.
Yeah. I know. I'm glad you brought that up because when I think of who's the best player on each team, I think of you got Giannis and you got Halliburton. That's fair, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, I actually
Siakam actually might be better than Halliburton.
Halliburton is a double.
Yeah, he's a champion. Yeah, you can't take that away from him.
Yeah, so is Siakam.
I have
What are Siakam stats?
I have faith in Doc though.
Well, it's not.
Doc, but not much faith. But
if you look at Doc's playoff record,
it's not great.
Outside of Boston?
Yeah, I was gonna say, but take away the Clippers because that
team was loaded though.
I know they're always loaded.
They should have won a title.
What do they always do?
But he was the coach of that for 5 years in their prime.
Look at this.
He had all these guys in their prime. What the hell happened there? Tyler Hero?
Tyler Hero stuck his leg out.
That's kind of
and this guy's diving into him. What are you doing?
Actually, he's diving beside him.
So you guys are saying Indiana in 6?
I think Indy in 6.
Indy in 6? What about you?
I think Giannis will get them 2. And to his point, I think Halliburton will disappear at some point in this series.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's as close as 6. Like, I think
I'm being generous.
I think it's more of a 5.
It's 5.
Wow.
But I do think Halliburton can disappear.
And Giannis will
And Giannis is a beast. So
Giannis can have 2 40-point games in this series.
Why, you think 7?
That's actually what I had. Bucks and 7.
Bucks and 7.
I have a feeling they're going to steal.
Now look, I'm rooting for that. I'm rooting for that.
I think it's going to be a really good series. Like that's why it was hard. I was like, because they're not like I don't think any of these teams are going to make it all the way, right? No. But I mean, I feel like they're 4-5. They won about the same amount of games.
Who do you think pushes Cleveland more of those 2?
Oh, it's got to be Indy.
It's Indy.
Yeah, to push Cleveland. Yeah, because
Cleveland
plays really fast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They play but Indy plays that type of game.
Yeah.
They can give Cleveland fits because of it. They're not going to beat them, but they can give them fits.
Sure.
See, here's the tough part I have when judging teams is like, I judge them against my team, which it doesn't work like that because it's matchup thing. But it's like the Knicks they swept Milwaukee, and Milwaukee did not play well in any of those games.
I was at one of them, yeah.
And then with the Pacers, it wasn't like that. So it's like it's hard for me to imagine Milwaukee beating them 4 times.
It wasn't like that with the Pistons either. With the Knicks this year.
That's right.
It's weird. The matchups are. Look, I'm only saying that because I'm supporting your point. It's
basketball has always been a game of matchups.
Yep. And that's the beauty of this time of year.
That's the beauty of this time of year because styles make fights. And what's great about the NBA is that there's a lot of different styles, meaning that there are guys that do. I mean, trust me, this goes back to when we were growing up, before we were growing up. So, I mean, styles make fights. There's a lot. I think the Milwaukee series has a lot of juice to it because of Giannis, because I think he's the reason they don't get swept. Does it go to 7?
What happened
if Lillard was there? Maybe.
What do we know the season?
Do you think Lillard
should be on the playoff
Do we think Lillard might be coming in at any point in this series?
Well, this is the thing. We don't know.
They said he could.
Yeah.
If he
I
does,
think he's the difference in this series.
No, he adds, but that's another element that Indiana is going to have to be aware of. We can't just leave. I don't know if. I think being out for this long, you're out of your rhythm. You know what I mean? I don't know what more he could be than a facilitator. And
He's got a blood clot in his leg?
Yeah, it's very, very Chris Bosh-ish from what I remember. You know what I mean? It's a very tender situation. You kind of want to be, you don't want him to have like some sort of a blood clot and have,
no, and it's
a serious episode on the court or anything. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's just, But
you think 5?
I think 6.
You think 6? I'll go Bucks and 7. We'll just all have kind of a different opinion about it. But
I'm going 6 too.
Okay.
I think it's not that close, but respect to Giannis and also that possibility of.
Well, this is if Lillard comes back, I think it could go 7.
Yeah.
If Lillard comes back, I think Milwaukee could steal it because
I don't think
if he can still shoot. Now, here's the thing about shooters. The last thing to go on a shooter is a shot because he doesn't do anything else anyway. Most of the time, most of them don't do anything else. Most of them are just shooters, and that shot doesn't go away. They get slower, but if you leave them open, see Klay Thompson this year when about 6 different times he dropped the hammer on some people, including the Celtics in one game in Boston when they left him open, forgetting who he was. You can't leave a shooter open.
I feel like there's a little more pressure on the Bucks too, and Doc. This series.
I don't know how, because if Lillard doesn't play...
Yeah, I mean, he's got a scapegoat, but I mean...
But nobody expects any... Nobody cares about it.
But, like, none of us really think Lillard's going to be the difference maker anyway. But I feel like, boy, that's going to be... It's another
2-2,
wasted...
he comes back?
It's another wasted season for Giannis. You know what I mean?
Well, they're talking about Giannis wanting to get out of it.
Yeah, I know. And that and losing this first-round series is not going to help that situation.
The thing is, with Giannis, though, he really... The Bucks have switched coaches. They've made trades. They went and got Damian Lillard. That was supposed to put them over the top.
Sure.
They went and got Kyle Kuzma to get younger and more athletic because Middleton couldn't stay out. They've done things.
That was actually a good move.
That was a good move by them. I understood
it was the right move.
Yeah. And I like Kyle. I think Kyle's a good.
Kyle's a decent player. He's not a bad player.
But it's more the right move because they could never count on Middleton.
No, not after the championship. He was never.
Although last year, wasn't he the only one left in that series?
He played well.
Didn't Giannis went down with the back?
Giannis went down.
Lillard went out.
He had like 2 20-point games in that series.
And didn't he have a game winner? Like off the glass or something?
He played well. He just
not Dame time. Middleton.
Oh yeah.
He was like the only one left last year.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
You know,
which is weird because a lot of times he wasn't there.
I mean, Milwaukee to me. Will you knock it off, Joel?
Will you put it on vibrate? Jesus Christ.
Milwaukee. I didn't know he was going to start on his fucking rant again. Fucking, you're a Trumplicant. Shut up. No one cares. You're lying anyway. No one with a brain believes you.
Oh my God.
So pulling those crap up, it's like
everything he says is
it's a lie. Shit. Everything is a lie. It's like, why do you? I just stop talking. I'll post a couple things every day if I stop talking because it's pointless. It's pointless. Anyway, look at the Pacers should win this series. If he says Milwaukee in 7, that's an interesting call. He's probably in the minority on that. But
it's making me think.
Because I think Giannis can get him too. If Lillard does, here's the scenario where I think Milwaukee can win it.
Yeah.
Say somehow it's 2-2, and then Lillard comes back.
Yeah.
That's where I think Milwaukee can steal the series. If it's 2-2. If it's 3-1, it's too late. They're not going to beat them 3 times in a row. But if it's 2-2 and he comes back, then Milwaukee has a chance.
And is Indy's the 4?
They're the 4. Who's the 4-5 in that? I think it's Indy's the 4. I think.
I mean, it's I always look at the 4-5. They're kind of the same.
They're kind of the same.
No, but I mean like. The 4 has home court advantage.
You know what? I think it's Indiana because I want to say Indiana won a few more games. I want to say Indiana won 50 or 51 games.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee's...
Indy's the home team.
Yeah, Indy won, 47, 48 games?
They were 48. Yeah. The first 3 all won 50 because the Knicks won 50. Yeah, then Indy won like 48. Milwaukee won
Knicks
like
won 51.
51. Sorry, 51.
For like the first time in...
Forever.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Indy in 6. He has Milwaukee in 7. The next one, Detroit and New York. We talked about this briefly the other night. Found out that we found out on this show that actually Detroit was a lot deeper than we thought.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Lawton found out that Detroit was deeper.
I'm sure. I'm sure you.
Trying to be nice.
You guys, you were the one that looked it up. So it's like I don't think you were like they have 10 guys.
No, I didn't know that, but
watching them, they were deep.
I feel like I
just didn't know the numbers.
I watched a lot of games this year where I was like. Nothing jumped off the screen for me, but
they're not deep with stars, but they have good players. It's kind of like these other teams we're looking at,
but they have a home run hitter too.
That's true.
Cade Cunningham is
They have one head of the snake.
But this is the thing. This is what makes them dangerous because if you have that guy. And you get to a 7th game, that guy can steal it for you. But you have to have that guy.
The Knicks better not let
the Knicks better not let this go 7. If
they do that, they're dumb.
Look, the Knicks are
as good as I thought.
The Knicks are a better defensive team. They've got 2 to his 1. Tibbs is a good coach. He's stubborn, but he knows he's a good coach.
Yep.
The Knicks are a better defensive team
than Detroit.
Yeah.
No.
Is that true?
I would say Detroit has the advantage. Cat can't even guard the pick and roll.
Well, none of them can grab the pick and roll.
Yeah, see.
Also, our defensive efficiency has been
You're like
tops in the league since Mitchell Robinson.
It's like 11 or something down, like since January or something,
since
right?
Mitchell Robinson came back,
they've been better.
We're in the top 10.
Yeah.
And we have not played you guys with Mitchell Robinson yet.
Yeah.
Not saying that is this massive
you're right.
difference, but it does change our rotation.
It does.
And it changes our toughness.
There's a lot of things where
That's
I was
the other
like,
thing.
Detroit could win this series. There's a lot of things, but I just don't.
I wouldn't be. Listen, as much as Stephen A. Smith is right about one thing, but we're going to find out now.
What did he say?
Well, he just said the Knicks are more talented, but they don't have the grit that team had last year. They're not that gritty, grinding. You're gonna have to shoot them in the head between the eyes to kill them. That type of shit. They're not going to yield.
They lost Hartenstein
and
they lost DiVincenzo and they lost Randall. Now Randall plays with no brain, but he's a tough son of a bitch.
DiVincenzo could get shots. He was a hustler.
DiVincenzo's good and tough.
Yeah.
And Hartenstein
was tough.
I mean, his whole deal is like
he's made OKC
is
working in the paint.
He's made OKC a better team.
You can facilitate. So losing those three pieces hurt them. They couldn't help losing Hartenstein.
No, they weren't going to be able to match
because of the collective bargaining bullshit.
Yeah, they couldn't get within $13 million of what OKC offered.
So what started to piss me off is that everybody's blowing Cade Cunningham. And
he's had one good year.
And he's good. No,
he's definitely good.
He's awesome.
He finally figured it out.
He was young, though.
No, he was really good in college.
Young.
He was good coming out. The Pistons have stunk, so
a lot of injuries,
it's been hard for him to be that.
He's been
good.
injured too a little bit. Yeah, that second year.
But like everybody's blowing him. They're saying that he's the best player in this series, which is the same thing they did when we played Philly last year.
Oh, that's what's up your ass.
No, it's not. No, that's not what's up my ass. I don't know what the fuck is wrong. Man.
But again, he was an number one overall pick, so they're really trying to work that. You know what I mean?
But it's also like I think a lot of these people on ESPN like to stick the knife in on New York.
They love to be divisive too.
Well, but they like
because
to
that
stick the
gets
knife
people
in
to
on
watch
New
and
York.
get people upset.
Well, Dolan's been kind of a dick over the years, so they're likable, more likable than they were before.
No, it's people just hate New York because New Yorkers are loud and obnoxious, and there's always so much hype around New York teams, even when there probably shouldn't be sometimes. You know,
I don't think Knicks fans are delusional.
No.
The Cowboy fans are delusional.
No, I'm not
the
saying
Knicks fans aren't delusional.
I'm not saying Knicks fans are delusional. It's the New York hype train. So we get Cat, we instantly become a title contender.
Sure. No, I get what you're saying.
Which, in all reality, no, we're not because we can't get past the Celtics. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to be a contender, you got to be in the Final Four. The problem is not Boston. Believe it or not. That's because of the emergence of Cleveland. Boston was already there.
Yeah.
Cleveland was kind of the team that went 2 levels up this year.
But I mean, if you can't,
which we didn't expect to happen.
If you can't not lose to Boston by 20, I don't give a fuck if you're in the Final Four or not.
Look, they didn't lose to them by 20 last game.
You guys are probably going to end up playing them. You guys are going to play them in the second round, which sucks for you.
If we win.
Yes.
But
do you think the Pistons will take the series?
No.
Well, you said if we win.
No, but I mean, we got to beat them.
Sure. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy.
But like Udonis Haslem's picking the Pistons, and tonight he's talking about how we are scoring. You know, we are having a good shooting night. He's literally a Heat. He's like he's still on the Heat.
Yeah, Haslam needs to.
Like, come on, dude. You're saying we on NBA Live?
Yeah. That's fanboy. It's again, it's my fanboy.
And let's be honest. The last 5 years he was on the team. He wasn't really on the team. He had a jersey.
Right.
He didn't fucking do nothing.
Stand there and yell at people when they were being assholes. And
he'd get it in garbage time if he got it at all.
So, I don't know. It's become this sexy pick. I like the Knicks in 5. I know y'all said Knicks in 6.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Knicks in 6, yep.
One thing that does worry me is Brunson's rhythm because he was out for a long time, and these last few games he came back in, he doesn't look like himself.
Yeah.
And if it's just a rhythm thing, I think he'll find it. But if the ankle still sucks,
that'll be a problem.
That concerns me.
Brunson, yeah.
He's their engine.
So you think Pistons? I'm sorry, Knicks in 5.
Definitely not Pistons.
You?
So I think the Pistons these guys haven't been to playoff. I mean, there's a couple guys on the team, but
a couple vets.
But their best players never played in a playoff game, a playoff series. That's a big deal. Like, I feel like New York also, the bright lights, man, game 1, there's no way you guys lose that game. Pistons got to go in the Garden.
But how is Cade built? Is he the type that will feed on that?
Where do you play college ball?
Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma State. No, Cade's a monster. He'll like I said, they're probably that's really the key to the series is how are they going to guard him? How are they going to wear him down? He averages 26 a game. Yeah, and if you do that, I mean, I think you neutralize it. You got to make everybody else beat you. And I don't see it this year. And again, the Pistons are playing with house money too, man. Like if they lose a series, they don't have, they could play like they don't have anything to lose, but I just think the Knicks are going to be better. Like I think the spread's a little crazy. When I saw it was 7.5 on Saturday, I was like, that seems kind of high. But
yeah, but I mean that's not that. That's like
I don't know,
2 buckets and a foul shot. I mean it's
3 possessions, so I felt like maybe like 5.5. Because everybody's calling it so close, right? It seems, but yeah, I'm not being a hater or anything. I'm just saying like I just think the Knicks are better. I like Jalen Brunson. I mean, he's got playoff experience. The dude gets any shot he wants, but again, is his health a question?
Yeah.
Plus, man, the coaching edge definitely goes to you guys. I mean, look. We already know what JB's going to do. He's going to complain about the officials.
He's going to complain about the refs.
But
I've called it already. After game 1,
Tibbs
if the Knicks win after game 1, there will be an absolute fit.
JB's not like no rookie coach or anything like that. No, but I'm just saying, Tibbs is definitely. I feel like he got the coaching edge there. So
you've got
very
Knicks
close. Knicks in 6. Yep.
All right. Let's be clear about something here. If you haven't watched this Cade Cunningham play, by the way, 26 points a game, 9 assists a game, and 6 rebounds. Start with that. Okay. He is very young. And this is what I would say, because this is what I see. Whoever said this, was it Haslam? Who said this? That he's the best player in this series?
No, a lot of people have been saying. I didn't hear him say it.
Here's the problem with that statement.
Several people have said it.
All right. Well, here's the problem with it. You said you come to me for about 97% of the things when it comes to sports. In my opinion, you value. Well, you're about to find out why. Good. Okay. Here's the deal.
Make me feel better.
Cade Cunningham is not the best player in this series. He is the most talented player in the series.
Okay.
Because he's 6'8", 6'9", he's a lot like, he reminds you of maybe a poor man's Jason Tatum, and I wouldn't call 26'9" poor. Okay, this kid is a home run hitter. He is for real. Best player in this series until further notice is still Jalen Brunson. Because to his point, he has been there. Okay, he's been there with Dallas. Okay, last year they lost half their roster. He dragged that team to 6 games with Indiana.
7 against
Indiana. They were missing half the roster, 3 starters. Okay, or whatever it was at one point, it was ridiculous. And he was playing hurt because he got hurt. Okay, so until further notice, because to his point, Cade Cunningham has yet to do anything in the postseason. Now, having said that, he is the most talented player in this series. He is, because you can't argue with 26 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds at the guy who is 21?
Maybe 22.
22? Yeah. He is 6'9". Okay, that there speaks to
that tall.
He's 6'8", 6'9".
6'8" or 6'9", yeah.
somewhere
See
there.
how young this guy is.
Yeah, he is young.
He's a young dude, man.
He's a young man.
He played 1 year at Oklahoma State.
Yeah,
and then
he's 23.
He's 23.
So he's 23 now.
He's 6'6".
He's 5'7".
That's
I'm sorry.
wrong.
He's 6'6", but he is a point guard. 26 and 9 assists.
So here's my
6'6" point guard.
So you have to just let OG guard him. Don't double team him. If he gets 30 a night, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If he's getting 10 assists a night, you're in trouble.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta take.
But that's why don't
Yeah.
do this fucking bullshit where you help OG and you leave guys sitting at the 3-point line. No. Every time they do that, it's one pass and bang.
Well, this is where Tibbs' coaching does come into question, because here's the problem with that. You know why you go get an OG and an OB? Because you don't have to help him.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like getting a shutdown corner in football, because if you have that guy, you can literally put more resources somewhere else, because that guy takes away one side of the field. This guy, on the very few exceptions, Jason Tatum being one of them, can take away one guy all by himself on offense. You don't have to help him. He's that good. He's an elite defender. Okay, and to his point, if Tibbs is the coach we believe he is, they will not help him. Now, if they're doing this screen and roll, they've got it. That's a whole different thing. But when he's mono a mono, well, then you got to have him fight over it or cut under it and have him switch back. And again, my approach to this still carries, where you throw the third defender at the roll and take it away. So either it gets back to the original guy, or they have to throw a skip pass all the way across the court, in which case you can recover to that. Mm-hmm. But you have to send a third defender at the roll and trap the ball. If the Knicks do that, yeah.
This is why I've started to question Tibbs, because defense is what he's supposedly known for. But when you watch a New York Knicks game, That's the issue with the team.
Let's
Now, of course, personnel is a big part of it.
Yeah, let's be clear. He got his reputation because he had a guy named Kevin Garnett, who is arguably the best defensive player of that generation. It's him, probably. He won more Defensive Player of the Years than anybody in that group.
And he obviously doesn't have a Kevin Garnett. He's got OG, which is good.
He doesn't have a.
He's got Josh Hart, who plays tough defense.
Tony Allen on that squad, too.
James Pressey, that long. They had him. Paul Pierce was a good defender. The Celtics had dogs.
Yeah.
Rajon Rondo.
Yeah.
They had dogs.
Defense,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's kind of where now he had a good scheme, but it fit that personnel. This is where he is right. They don't have
that.
anything like that.
And it's rough, though, because in addition to not having that, the scheme doesn't seem to be good.
To work for it.
Like, if you know you have, issues on the defensive end, you have to come up with a strategy to mask those weaknesses and to do things to support certain guys, leave other guys on their own.
Yeah.
But it just feels like so often we don't know how to run the pick and roll on offense, and we don't know how to guard the pick and roll on defense.
Which, if you're NBA, that's the first offense.
That's foundational.
Is the screen and roll. And by the way, there were 4 men directly responsible for that. Their names are John Stockton, Karl Malone, and Larry Bird and Robert Parrish.
Yeah.
Because if you ever you've never seen the pick and roll run better than watching those 4 men do it. And if you doubt that, I can show it to you. Like, that's just perfect. You can't even defend it. So, yes, and the NBA was like, we have to fucking learn it. That's why the triangle became so big, because everybody started to defend the screen roll, try to figure out how to do it. So they've gone back this way again. And a lot of teams, by the way, besides the Knicks, get fucked up by this. A lot of them don't know how to defend it, to be honest with you. Because you know why?
Everybody against us knows. And maybe the more I think about it, it is personnel.
It's personnel.
Because it's like, if we screen and roll with Josh Hart, if he gets the ball, he can't shoot it.
Jalen Brunson has one flaw.
Size.
That's it. That's the only flaw in his game. He can't control it. This is why I get mad at Tibbs, and I'm not a Knicks fan, but I'm a fair guy. And the Knicks last year, I keep saying that's the car they never took out for a spin and should have before they did this. But anyway, that's too late. Point is this: what Tibbs has to do, to his point, any good coach does, you adjust to your personnel. Find a defensive scheme that will work with that personnel, because that's the hand. You can't make them play what you want to play if they're not equipped to. Because other than Anunoby and maybe Hart, right?
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson.
They got maybe 3 guys that can do this. Maybe 3. Yeah. You can't do that against a team that has.
That's good, but he's a backup. He's also short.
And this is why Detroit's going to give them fits, because Detroit has 8 guys that average double figures. They're going to get people open.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. And if Kate Cunningham averages 9 assists a game, he's not a pig.
Yeah.
He's one of the league leaders in assists. And that's why I think it's going to go 6, because that's why the Knicks aren't going to be able to run away from this team.
Yeah.
No.
It's not because the scheme that they are playing, which is to try and either go under or over this screen, which does not work.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing to beat. All NBA players, you can't be in the league if you can't beat that. You've got to come up with a better way. My way, I think, is the best way. I actually haven't seen a team really run it. But I'm telling you right now, if there are teams athletically that can do it. Now, there's 2 ways. The other way is what the Celtics do, because they have 5 guys that can defend 5 fucking guys. Yeah, literally,
that's all personnel.
That's all personnel. And by the way, they built the team that way because that's the thing. They had a scheme they wanted to play, and they went and got players that could play it. And that's the one problem that the Knicks have. They've brought in good players. Tibbs is a good coach. The 2 he's got to go to him, and he may have done this I don't know. I need more guys to either fit this scheme, or then he's going to change the scheme.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. So, but having said that, that's why it will go 6. But the Knicks still, at the end of the day, have 2 home run hitters to their 1, and they will prevail in 6. Okay?
Right, so like that. You like Knicks in 6 as well? We're all saying that?
Yeah, I think we're all.
You say 5.
Okay, we got 5. He's got 6. Okay.
Opposite.
Is that more because you're pissed off at Haslam?
No. I really think I think the Knicks can win in 5.
Okay.
Yep.
And I don't want to be swayed by these assholes picking them. But obviously, what y'all said, it sounds real. So I can see that easily.
Yeah.
Okay. I just think Detroit's when you're 8 deep and you have a guy going 26, 9, and 6, you're there for
They're
it.
legit.
They're legit. They're going to give them fits.
They've won 3 out of 4. They could fucking beat us. Let's just put it out.
Sure, absolutely.
Home court and experience is why the Knicks will win this in 6. They have the home court. They have the experience. Right. So anyway, moving to the next one that we know, that would be the world champions going for number 19. They begin their quest against the Orlando Tragic. and this Pete and I have been going back and forth with this for months. You know, when are they going to face a team that's healthy? Well, it ain't going to be in the first round, America.
Nope.
Because Suggs is out, and that's a huge blow to Orlando. That is a huge. That's
Suggs and Banchero. They're real.
Legit. They're for real. And the kid Francis, have you seen the kid from Germany? Where he's from? The European. They're Franz.
What are you talking about? Franz Wagner.
Wagner.
He's from Michigan.
Wagner. Yeah, he went to Michigan.
And his brother's on the team.
His brother's on the squad. Mo's on there too.
That kid is for real.
He was the villain before Hunter Dick.
Yeah.
Mo Wagner. Mm-hmm. But just
there's nobody like the Dick.
Nobody
no one like the
Dick.
Nobody gives the Dick like the Dick, apparently. So
like Hunter.
So anyway,
so this will be a 5 just because Boston wants
look
to
at
play.
Jaylen Brown. I want to be on I want this on record so you guys go. No, I was there when he said it. I am 100% against Jaylen Brown playing in this series.
Okay.
I am 100% against this. I don't give a shit if he tells you you stuck a needle this big into his right knee.
Yep.
Okay. That does not equate to 100%. That just numbs it so he can play. It doesn't heal the issue. He doesn't need to play in this.
Or the knee.
Or the knee. Doesn't solve the issue, doesn't heal the knee, which is the knee. Okay, the point is. Who had the gummy? I wonder what's in that. I think he spit a little how's your father in there.
There's just aspartame, that's all. Cancer-causing ingredients.
The point is that Jaylen Brown does not need to play in this series. And even more so now that we know Suggs is out.
Yeah.
He's out. The Celtics should beat this team. If everything goes wrong, they should beat this team in 5.
I feel bad for him. Not just because he's injured, but he's
a heck of a player.
Man, he's got to shave his head.
Oh yeah.
I call him.
What happened to that?
Suggs with the plugs.
You let it go.
Like it looks like he's got hair plugs, doesn't it?
That's bad.
Like it looks really bad. Yeah, it's not, but he just needs.
I thought
to
he
shave
just wears something. He wears like.
No, he gets it like they comb it forward, and it's like missing pockets, and then he just gets it lined.
Well, dude, that's it. That can be a tough thing to lose your hair.
It would suck, but
awful.
LeBron finally paid attention. He finally pretty much he's on.
Let's not sway. We'll get to him in the next segment.
No. I'm just saying from a hair standpoint, he took. They finally shaved it off because remember how he used to spray it on. Do you remember that? Oh, LeBron would have shit sprayed on.
There's some guys that spray it.
You can look at it, but Suggs, I feel bad for him. Not just because of that, but because of the hair.
Not because
the Orlando Magic.
And I like the Celtics in 5.
Let me tell you right now. I'm saying this also right now.
Should win in 4.
They should win. They should win in 4.
But they usually give you 2.
They usually give you 2, but they're only going to give you 1.
They're not giving them 2.
They would give them 1 probably. You know what I mean?
Now here's the thing you got to look out for. Cole Anthony diving at Tatum's knees. That could derail us.
That could derail everything. Yeah. In a series like this where it could get chippy because the Magic are physical. Yeah, I didn't want the Celtics to face the Magic for that reason because this is where somebody gets hurt. This is that type of series. And I'm not trying to say it's going to happen. I'm hoping it doesn't. But the Celtics would be wise to put these guys down fast.
Yeah.
Because the longer this goes,
get the rest.
the more susceptible Jason Tatum or Kristaps Porzingis, who can get hurt taking a shower.
That's the one.
He's the first one I'm worried about before Tatum.
With Wagner down there. Yeah.
So they're gonna.
He loves
don't
contact.
think for a second the Magic aren't going to try and mix this up and turn it into a street fight because they are because it's their only chance.
Yeah.
And they know it.
It's the only chance to win 2 games.
Yeah. So the Celtics would be well to put them down fast and don't even give them a sliver of hope. Because if you do...
Yeah, then you have to go hard.
Then you have to go... Then it goes 7.
You get hurt, yeah.
It goes 7. And you can laugh at me all you want, but I've seen teams take the Celtics 7 that shouldn't have gone 5 in recent history. When they were healthy. So I don't want to hear it, okay? They're getting another break, Pete. The Magic are not full strength. They better beat them in 4 or 5. Worst case scenario, 5.
5.
Worst case scenario, 5. It should be a sweep. And Jaylen Brown, I want to say it, should not touch the floor in this series.
Dude, I'll go on record and say you don't need him first 2 rounds.
Well, you got to play the Knicks.
They can beat the Knicks without Jaylen Brown.
Well,
all they need is 2 of their 3.
All they do is see your colors, and they just freak out. Like they always come to play against the Knicks.
The Celtics aren't.
I mean, it's the weirdest thing, man. I don't know, why that is, but
it's the New York hype.
They
don't like it. But the fans don't seem. It's not coming from the fans.
No, it's like an internal.
Usually, it's coming from the fans. The media isn't. It's the media.
Yeah.
That's doing this. Because it's New York, and they haven't really mattered in basketball for a long time.
Long time.
But now they're back to relevancy.
The fans do get a little hype because
and they
we're
should.
finally consistently good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
50 games the last 2 years.
Right.
This is the start of something.
After 2 decades of dick in the
I mean, the Knicks aren't old. They're not going anywhere.
Right. We have a window.
This type of team, we're like, all right, what piece can we add? Because they're like a piece away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they are, which is close. So,
and really depth pieces.
Yeah. I think it's more
Not
depth.
even main.
Believe it or not, I think it's more depth.
Yeah.
I mean, but anyway, so so I think Boston in 4. He thinks Boston in 4. You got Boston in 5?
We'll say Boston in 5.
Well, I was given 5 too.
I said 4.
Yeah, because you got Jaylen Brown's out. I mean, they could slip on one, right?
No, he's not. He's going to play.
Jaylen Brown?
Playing. He's playing. He's going to start game 1.
Oh, that's why you were saying.
Oh, that's why you were saying that. I didn't think he was going to play.
He's starting.
I thought you were just saying more
They
of the,
say
hey,
they
he should play the
say
series.
the last 2 days in practice, he's gone full tilt and he's okay.
He doesn't need to be there.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of think they should get him in 4.
They should get him in 4.
They should.
I'm going to predict it. I don't care if I'm wrong because if I'm wrong, it's because they're idiots. Because they should sweep that team. Without Suggs, they should sweep that. If Suggs was there, maybe 5, 6 tops. But without Suggs, sweep. Sweep. Whether Jalen plays or not, sweep.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's a sweep.
It should be a sweep. And if it's not, it'll be on them.
I mean, because
there's
you
no
guys are
way.
fully healthy now. I mean,
Yeah. If Brown is starting,
yeah,
sweep.
yeah.
It better be a sweep.
No.
Because honestly, if you start him and you lose one fucking game in this series, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it.
Yeah. You're not getting the rest you need.
You're not getting the rest you need. You got to sweep. You're doing this because you're saying we're getting them down in 4.
Yeah.
Maybe
Because you're also thinking this
Limited
series, this
minutes.
Pistons series is going to go 6, which I think it will.
Yeah.
So 4 gives you another 5
you get some
days.
rest,
You get some rest. So if he's starting, you better fucking sweep him. I'm not taking 5. Well, no, 4. Without Suggs, 4. So anyway, we'll take a break, come back. We're not going to talk about the
We're not
1-8.
going to break down the
We're not going to break down Cavs.
No.
Cavs, sweet.
Not the
Whoever
Cavs
they play.
Heat. The Heat still have to play.
It's going to be the Cavs Heat.
You can play Atlanta, hot Atlanta.
But,
down in
hey,
hot Atlanta.
listen.
They are the ugliest basketball.
Look, they're sweeping no matter what. That's an easy one.
It is an
4-0.
easy one.
Yeah.
It's 4-0. No,
4.
do we need to talk
Dang.
about this?
We don't even need to talk
Well,
about
I mean,
we just did the whole
One
Eastern
of those
Conference.
teams is taking a game off them.
But hey.
Hold on. What about Spoelstra? You never know.
No.
I'm just
Not
kidding.
this.
I'm
Not
just
this.
kidding.
Yeah, I know. No, not this time around.
They might
Spoelstra without
take a game off.
Spoelstra without LeBron is like Pop without Duncan. Sorry.
And Phil without every team
No.
he ever had.
Phil without Mike and Phil without Shaq. And for good measure, Scottie Pippen and Kobe Bryant. Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. He went to New York and what happened? Shit's all over himself.
Guys, garbage.
Shit's
None of these
all
guys had rings until he started coaching them.
But he didn't have rings until he started coaching them.
Hey, it's kind of like
How many rings did he have as a coach before he coached
like
Michael
Red
Jordan?
Hour
He only
back
has the
without-
one.
Hey,
As a
player.
As a player.
Yeah,
no.
This is your comeback. It's like Red Hour back without Bill Russell and Larry Bird.
Exactly. I mean,
McHale,
they all got to have
Robert
good people.
Parrish.
He drafted all of them.
You got to
He
have
actually was the coach GM. So there was never an argument because it was red on red. It was like, what do you think, red? I don't know, red. What do you think? We'll go ahead.
Yeah, but there was a bunch of plumbers playing GM in the
were.
other team.
Yeah,
They're
just
the best plumbers in the business.
Yeah, plus plumbers in the
A bunch
business.
of electricians playing GM.
Best plumbers in that plumber league ever, I'll tell you. Anyway, that's what we're saying. We'll come back segment 2, Western Conference. This is going to be interesting.
Donnie's abound.
Donnie's abound in the Western Conference. Segment 2 coming right up.